Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman Singh. Topping our newscast, the Virgin Islands Centennial Celebration is right around the corner. And while celebrations are in order, a major issue was again brought to the fore by a recent lawsuit filed by 3 United States territories: equal voting rights and representation in Congress. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Another major lawsuit is attacking the lack of equal voting rights for citizens of the Virgin Islands and other territories. 6 U.S. citizens living in the VI, Puerto Rico, and Guam, as well as organizations including the VI's League of Women Voters, filed a federal lawsuit earlier this week, challenging federal and state laws denying them the right to vote for president and voting representation in Congress. Citizenship and equal voting rights have been an agenda for local leaders. During the National State Legislatures Conference in Seattle, members of the VI's 31st Legislature pushed the issue to the forefront. Delegate to Congress Stacey Plaskett also brought it up many times, drawing the attention of the national media. The issue of equal voting rights becomes more and more glaring as the Virgin Islands approaches its centennial. Many local leaders feel that as the VI celebrates 100 years under the United States, equal voting rights should not even be an issue by this time. The latest lawsuit is part of a broader effort being launched by the We the People Project on Veterans Day. With the 2016 presidential election cycle in full swing, We the People is calling for a new constitutional amendment that builds on the 23rd Amendment dealing with the presidential vote in D.C. Their ultimate goal: to guarantee representation and the right to vote for president to all Americans, regardless of where they live. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
You can learn more about the We the People project by going to www.equalrightsnow.org. One of We employees who received direct deposits were not paid Thursday, November 12, as scheduled. The management of the Governor Juan Luis Hospital and Medical Center said it was due to a technical error. The direct deposit will be delayed by 1 day, so employees affected by that glitch will receive their pay on Friday, November 13th. Employees who received physical checks were not affected by the error, and employees who signed up for electronic notification still received those notices Thursday morning. One of Louis' administrators apologized for the error and want to ensure that employees and the community understand that it was a glitch with the direct deposit file. Turn our attention to crime reports. Now, police on St. Thomas continue to search for a man reported missing and still request the community's assistance in locating 35-year-old Brian Adamitz. Brian was last seen on Wednesday, October 5th by his roommate leaving his household in Pillsbury Heights on foot, traveling to work at Secret Harbor. He was wearing a black t-shirt with a Virgin Islands flag emblem, gray shorts, and was wearing a black backpack. Brian's father flew in from the States to make a plea.
Well, my son, Brian Adamitz, became missing last week, and so we're here to try and locate him, and we're here to try to get the word out. And Brian was quiet, very intelligent, very smart. He's very likable. We've talked to the police. They've been very helpful, very supportive. We've communicated with the hospital. Everybody here has been very accommodating. Brian, your mom and I and your brother and all your family love and cherish you. Please contact us to let us know that you're okay. If you can't get a hold of us for some reason, contact one of your friends. We've been in contact with many of your friends. They have our number. We just want to know that you're okay, Brian.
And again, if anyone has any information on his location or sightings, please call 911-340-776-9110 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. Also, you can call the family, and that number is 559-298-8784, or email rma_asl@att.net. Also in St. Croix, the search still continues for 20-year-old Emmanuel Fraticelli Davis, also known as Manuel. Davis was last seen on Thursday, October 22nd, in the vicinity of Marley Homes, wearing a black t-shirt with red basketball short pants. He has light complexion, black hair, green eyes, stands 5'7" and weighs 135 pounds. Police are still searching also for missing woman Nina Gondolo. Has been missing since Monday, November 2nd, when she was last seen at 1 a.m. in the area of Estate Mountain. Nina Gondolo stands at 5'8", weighs approximately 125 pounds, light complexion with blonde hair and blue eyes. Gondolo, police say, may seem confused and may be in need of medical attention. She's known to frequent the Canagata ballpark and the towns of Christiansted and Frederickstead. If anyone sees Nina, you're asked to immediately contact 911 or Crime Stoppers. And no updates on that body that was found last Thursday, according to police. That was roughly at 10:33 a.m. when the 911 emergency call center received the call of a body found by a concerned citizen in Estate Enfield Green. Responding officers reported to the Rocky Beach area of Enfield Green, where the decomposed body was discovered. The corpse could not be readily identified, and detectives assigned to the case were awaiting the results of an autopsy to determine the identity of the deceased. Anyone with information concerning this matter, you're asked to phone the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-712-6024. Chief of Police Arthur Hector Sr. at 340-712-6005, or Crime Stoppers. District Court Chief Judge Wilma Lewis on November 6 sentenced Gail Leung, 57, to 18 months in prison for manufacture of marijuana. Judge Lewis also ordered Leung to serve 2 years of supervised release and pay a $100 special assessment and $5,000 fine. On June 11, 2015, Leung pleaded guilty to manufacture of marijuana. As part of her plea, she agreed to pay a forfeiture money judgment in the amount of $3,000. According to court documents, Leung knowingly and intentionally grew marijuana plants on her property in Estate Mount Pleasant, St. Croix. On May 28, 2014, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration removed a total of 200 marijuana plants from the property. A federal grand jury returned a one-count indictment on November 5th, charging Kevin Henley, 21, of Tortola BVI with bulk cash smuggling. Henley was arrested on October 7th, 2015, and was released on home confinement with electronic monitoring after posting $25,000 cash bond pending trial. According to the indictment and court documents, agents of the Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Homeland Security investigations were conducting surveillance in the Red Hook area when they observed Henley load several packages on his British registered vessel docked at the American Yacht Harbor. Henley's vessel stalled after departure and he was escorted back. As Henley approached the dock, he grabbed a black duffel bag from his vessel and attempted to flee the dock without the other packages and without securing the vessel. Henley was immediately apprehended by HSI agents, and they found approximately $255,000 in cash. Meanwhile, a federal grand jury returned a one-count indictment on November 5th, charging Kevin Greaves, 43, of St. Thomas with bulk cash smuggling. Greaves was arrested on August 22nd and was released on home confinement with electronic monitoring after posting $25,000 cash bond pending trial. Agents were conducting surveillance in the East End area of St. John when they observed Greaves approach a vessel that had signaled its arrival from Tortola BVI to Greaves at an area overlooking Hallover Bay on St. John. Greaves traveled and met with the occupants of the vessel, then departed. HSI agents followed Greaves, conducted a search of Greaves' vehicle, and found 2 duffel bags containing $118,000 in cash in U.S. currency. We'll turn our attention overseas. The family of a Virginia man who died in police custody has filed a $25 million lawsuit. A hearing in the case was held this afternoon. Andrew Spencer reports lawyers for the family have released a video which shows officers using tasers more than just once.
Relatives of Linwood Lambert Jr. say they only recently saw the video of what happened. Video which shows police using tasers on him multiple times the night he died in police custody in 2013.
I would suggest and argue that every single time they tased him was inappropriate.
Late that night, officers responded to noise complaints at a motel in South Boston, Virginia, where they found Lambert. In court documents, police describe him as acting strangely. Officers put him in the back of a patrol car and explained to him that he's not being locked up.
We're going to take you to the emergency room. We're going to get you looked at, make sure you're good to go.
Outside the hospital, Lambert becomes agitated.
Don't kick your window. Quit kicking the window.
Police say he broke out the back window. Later in the video, he sprints from the car to the hospital where police corner him and use their tasers. The video shows officers struggling with Lambert. It's not clear exactly how many times they use their tasers.
And he's in handcuffs, and they tase him one time, and he's on the ground. It's over. It's done. There's no reason to subject this gentleman to further punishment, to further tasing, to put his life at risk.
Instead of taking Lambert inside the hospital, officers put him back in the patrol car where a taser is used again. By the time officers get to the police station, Lambert is unresponsive. An autopsy report cited the cause of death as acute cocaine intoxication. Lambert's family has filed a $25 million lawsuit accusing police of using excessive force and violating his civil rights. Lawyers representing the officers say they did nothing wrong and that their actions did not cause Lambert's death. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Meanwhile, keeping an eye on the economy, here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. As we can see, everything down there. The Dow down 254, NASDAQ 61, S&P 500 down 29. Coming up on News 2, we continue to recognize VI Recycles Month. More on our feature tonight. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Veterans Day parades were in full swing yesterday, Wednesday, on both islands. St. Croix celebrated our nation's heroes early with a parade and ceremony on St. Thomas. It began later in the afternoon, but the ceremonies honoring our veterans were equally impressive. According to Governor Kenneth Mapp, the governor also reminded attendees why the territory should feel especially proud of its veterans.
Here in the Virgin Islands, we have to be proud, particularly of our veterans, because per capita, we have more members of our community that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Our elected leaders in the late 50s lobbied the U.S. Congress so that American citizens in the Virgin Islands would be included in the draft and called to service.
Meanwhile, overseas, a retired U.S. Army captain is honored at the White House for his heroic efforts in Afghanistan. Captain Florent Groberg received the Medal of Honor from President Obama today. Captain Groberg and 5 other soldiers were providing security detail in Afghanistan in 2012 when an ambush started to unfold. He survived 2 suicide bombings that killed 5 of his soldiers and left him seriously wounded. Captain Groberg spent nearly 3 years recovering at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, requiring more than 30 surgeries to save one of his legs. He medically retired from the Army in July. Well, back here at home, the Virgin Islands Society of Certified Public Accountants presented the first Minority Accounting Students Scholarship to 2 University of the Virgin Islands accounting majors on Friday, November 6th at the Society's annual meeting. Eula Cyril and Shani Isaac were each awarded a $3,000 scholarship. The scholarship will enable accounting majors to graduate from UVI, pass the Certified Public Accountant exam, and have the option to continue to serve in the Virgin Islands. The VI Society of CPAs members voted to increase their dues to fund that scholarship. With the assistance of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants Foundation, the society was able to offer the scholarship. The VI SCPA plans to offer this scholarship annually. WSCA Radio is holding a telethon on the air presently. It's going on until 8 p.m. in hopes that listeners will lend a hand. Former 5-time Calypso monarch Sinclair De Silva We know him as Wadabli, needs your support. King Wadabli has been experiencing some serious health challenges over the years. He was flown recently to Florida for emergency care. The surgery went well. He's still there, but depleted both he and his wife's savings. WSCA radio station is holding a radiothon. It's on air right now in hopes that members of the community will call in to help. That number is 340-774-1340, and of course it's 1340 on your AM radio dial. The United Way of the Virgin Islands, in partnership with the Department of Human Services, will host the 8th annual Project Homeless Connect, and it's kicking off. Governor Mapp has granted administrative leave for government employees choosing to volunteer. Project Homeless is a one-stop shop where individuals who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless can access care and a host of services all in one place. The event is scheduled for Friday, November 13th on St. Croix at the Rudolph Schultebrand Market Building, Friday, November 20th on St. John at the Department of Human Services, and then Friday, December 4th on St. Thomas at the UVI Sports and Fitness Center. Well, National Recycling Month continues across America, and here in the Virgin Islands, the VI Waste Management Authority is drawing residents' attention to services that will help with their recyclables. One St. Thomas company has taken steps down the eco-friendly path, and they're offering the same choice to Virgin Islanders. News2 April Knight has more.
Caribbean Packaging is one of the oldest in the, packaging business on St. Thomas.
Printed shopping bags, liquor boxes, jewelry boxes. We sell a lot of hotel products, the paper products that are used in the hotels.
It's been in business since 1986, but evolved significantly in 2000 when it made a conscious effort to become more environmentally friendly.
We noticed a trend towards being more environmentally sensitive in the late 90s and early 2000s. And we wanted to be a part of that.
In addition to its usual stock of boxes, plastic, and foam packaging materials, Caribbean Packaging began offering more eco-friendly choices. It also offers a free service that allows Virgin Islanders to bring in non-biodegradable packaging materials, such as plastic and foam peanuts.
Some of the packaging material we're saving from the landfill. We have boxes and bubble wrap that have come in, and what we do here is we make this available as needed, when needed, as long as we have it, of course, to anyone who wants to come down and pick it up for free.
As the push for more eco-friendly products increases, two things often get confused: recyclable versus reusable, which according to owner Scott Martin are mutually exclusive.
Reusable in the sense that each time you go to the store, you bring your purchases home and you get to reuse the bag the next time you go. Recyclable is a product that is used as much as possible and then brought to the proper facilities and then recycled back into what it is for reuse.
Martin says it's important for residents to be informed about the services and products available to them so they can make the right decision about their packaging choices. And his company is more than willing to help. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Be sure to tune in to News 2 every Thursday. We will have more on VI Recycles during the entire month. DPNR is celebrating November as David Hamilton Jackson Month. Bill number 3101230, now Act number 7771, was sponsored by Senator Myron D. Jackson, Secretary and Chair of the Committee on Culture, Historic Preservation, Youth, and Recreation. DPNR's Virgin Islands Historic Preservation Office and the Division of Libraries, Archives, and Museums, they are highlighting D. Hamilton Jackson's achievements and contributions, and they're educating the public on his significant contributions. If you go to the website, on the homepage, you will find information, including a scanned copy of The Herald, which was dated November 1st, 1915, and links to other online historical resources on Mr. Jackson. DPNR will also display a showcase and exhibit at the Florence Williams Public Library on St. Croix. Authentic Caribbean cooking from over 60 food and beverage vendors is what is on tap at the Taste of Two Islands at Yacht Haven Grand this evening. If you attend, you will be supporting WTJX Channel 12's most prominent annual fundraiser if you donate your appetite and money. Guests of the public television station's 11th annual event, they are sinking their teeth into an exciting collage of the best cuisine on St. Thomas and John. Tune in to News 2. We will have highlights from that event. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next. Puerto Rico Friendship Committee recognized honorees in